Hi everyone, welcome to Dan's Country Life. Today I'm going to show you how I make a traditional wreath out of very locally sourced materials that you can find or round here where I live. You can find them just outside the back door. Obviously the way I make it is we use a bit of rabbit wire netting, and what I do is we make the wreath frame using the sphagnum moss. We'll fill this, which I'll show you, and then we'll go from there. So this is some of the materials. We use sphagnum moss, holly, variegated ivy. This is spruce, Norway spruce, which you get at your Christmas trees. Pine cones that we picked up around the lake under the pine trees. Now this isn't locally sourced. This is a bit of cinnamon sticks, which will add a little bit of smell and just a different shape to the wreath as well. Now these are orange slices that were dried out a month or so ago, so we're going to use them as well. It's unicorn smell because they smell fantastic. And just to add a little bit of glitz, because the holly, the birds have eaten all the berries off the holly already this year, I've got some glitzy berries to add to it as well, which will give it a nice bit of colour. And to finish it off, we've got some ribbon here. We'll make a bow, and that'll just make the wreath really smart when we're finished. So to start the wreath, I'll curve it round slightly so it's nearly a circle, and just fill it with the sphagnum moss there till it's quite bulgy, and then all you do is take the wire round and just twist it into each other, just like that as you go around. Very straightforward. Just bend the wires over as you come around. You continue that on all the way down. Like that, and as you can see, that gives us a nice shape which we can manipulate into a circle, and then we can start making the wreath from that. And the beauty of using the sphagnum moss is it absorbs moisture and it holds a lot of water. So if you hang it up on your door and it rains, this will absorb the rain, and then all the plants that you're using, like your holly and your pine and that, they'll absorb some of the water out of this, and it keeps them green for a lot longer than your dry holly wreaths will as well. So it's another bonus to it as well. There you go, that's the wire tube or the wreath frame made. It's all filled now with the moss, and all you do, as you can see, you just bend it round like that, join it together, and that's the basis for your wreath, you know. Very, very simple, and we'll make the shape, and then I'll show you what comes next. Now that the wreath is joined together, as you can see, you've got to decide which is going to be the front, which is going to be the back. And I've found as well over the years is if you just slightly flatten it, it just gives you a better space to work with as well. Now the next thing we'll add is the spruce, and this is going to give us a back plate to the wreath to show off everything else. So it's very, very easy, and you'll find if you want to have a go at this is you don't have to wire everything in because of the net in the wreath itself. You take the spruce, and you want the green side of the spruce, which you'll find that's the back and that's the front. So this is the back. So what you do is you want the back of the spruce facing you, and all you do is push the spruce like that in behind the mesh and do that all the way around, and you can put as much in or as little in as you want, and this creates a lovely backdrop to the rest of your wreath. And again, just very, very simple. Just trim them off, cut some of the side shoots, so you've got a little branch just to push in so that it goes into the wire. And again, there's nothing fancy or clever with it. You just do this all the way around, pushing them in to the wire, and then that gives you the back of the wreath. Sometimes if you get a little branch, you just trim these low bits off, and that just helps it fit through the wire. And again, just push it under the wire, nice and tight. There you go. And then all we'll do is just trim that, trim the excess off, and that's it. It's nice and tight. And as you can see, it's going to look quite good. We're halfway around nearly there. So just carry on doing the same thing until we're finished, and then we'll start the rest. So that's all the pining around the edge, as you can see. That's the outside done, and it's one of those where now you can either make it thicker around the outside, you can leave less, put less in as well. And as the wreath develops, you'll see as we go, you can add your own little bits and bobs to it. It's very, very simple, and you can make it just a little bit quirky, or you can make it your own. So we'll add the holly next, and we'll see how that goes. Now that we've got the wreath outside made, we'll start adding some of the holly as well, and this will give it a nice shape and a bit of colour to it as well, a bit of texture as well. So work out where the top of your wreath's going to be, because what you want to do is you want to lay your holly in both directions. So you set off in the middle like that, and you work your way around either side, put your holly in. So if you know where your centre is, where it's going to hang, you can start there and work your way down to the bottom, and this leaves a space at the bottom for adding your ribbons and your little bits of glitzy stuff as well. And again, cut the holly, just leave a bare bit of stem, and it all very, very simple yet again is you just feed it under the wire and then just pull it into place. And just so you start one way and then work the other way. That's it, and then just keep adding your holly to it. And you can work one way all the way down, or the other way, or you can just come around both sides at the same time as you're working down, and it's exactly the same. It's easy both ways, whichever way you want to do it. As you can see, doing it this way with the moss, there's no need to wire anything in to your wreath as you go. All you do is push it underneath the little bits of the rabbit netting that you made the original frame with, and just push it into the moss, and that holds it firm, and very, very simple. So as you can see, I've taken the holly all the way around. I'll put this last piece in, and then that's it. So we can see there, the shape of the wreath starting to look quite good, I think. Next we'll add some variegated ivy and some little bits and bobs that will make it really shine. Now that we've got all the holly in, the next thing we're going to add is, I've got some variegated ivy here, and all I'll do is I'll put a few bits of this in, and it just breaks up all the green, and I think it looks really good. So we'll do that now. And the same process, just peel the ivy back so you've got a bare stem, just feed it through the wire in between the holly, and that keeps it all in place. There's no need to wire anything down or tie it up, it all stays in place, no bother at all. So as you can see there, the ivy just adds another dimension to the wreath, just breaks up all the green, and then what we'll do is we'll add some berries and some ribbons. So now that I've got the variegated ivy on, I've added some cinnamon sticks as well, and all we're doing now is I'm just wiring up these dried out orange slices, and I'll put a wire through them like that. So you can see there, I've got 3 together, and what we'll do is I'll add these to the wreath, and that'll just give it another different look to it, and I think it'll look really nice. And again, with the wire, all you do is push the wire down through the mesh and into the moss, wrap it round and tie it off, and that's it. It's very, very simple. There you go. Perfect. I'll just quickly show you as well, this is how I wire the cones, so you don't need to glue them or anything. And what you'll find is, as the acorn opens, all you do is just shove the wire down behind the cone and just weave it in and out like this, all the way around, just in and out. And then when you get right round, just loop it round the bottom of the acorn like that, straighten the wire, and there you go. That's nice and tight. And all we do was push that down through the wreath, tie it off, and then you put your acorns wherever you want them. Now that I've got the acorns wired, what I'll do is I'll just show you. It's very, very simple. If you just, wherever you want them, we'll put them in here, and you just push your wire in to the mesh all the way through, and then tie it off. And that's the simplest way to add your acorns to it as well. And you can add as many or as few as you want. Now that the wreath is taking shape, it's just a case of titivating it up with whatever you want. And we've got some of these glittery holly berries here, so I've just added a couple, so we'll keep adding them, and it's really starting to make it bounce a little bit now. And as you can see, they're just little balls on a wire, twist them round, and anyway, have a look and see if there's nothing happening. Just grab a little bit of holly and twist them to the stem, and that's them. You literally take the end of the holly, wrap them round, and there you go. That's the berry. That's the holly berries done. There you go. So this is the bow that I've made, just out of some ribbon, and again I fixed a wire through the back, and all you do is again find the centre of your wreath where the bottom is, and then like everything else, very, very simple, just push the wire into the wreath and then that'll hold it. So just find space between all the leaves, just push the wire in. There you go. Position your wreath, the ribbon on the wreath I should say, and once she's tidied up, there you go. We'll trim these into a shape, and that's about the wreath done. That's the ribbons cut, so I'll lift it up and show you now, and this and that's the wreath finished. There you go. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And also, you know, you can always stop the video as you're going along if you are having a go, and don't be overwhelmed because they're really, really dead easy once you get a start. And thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed it, if you put on your notifications, like and subscribe, and also you can become a member if you want and see a little bit more of what I do as well. But again, thank you very much for watching, and also have a nice Christmas. So there you go, from the wreath up in the cafe seating area. Goes really well with Kate's button as well that she brought in the summer. So now you've seen it hanging up, don't be frightened to have a go.